Hi, everyone. Traci here with Create Your Future. I'm super excited about this topic today. We are going to talk all about not accepting the evidence of lack and practicing knowing it is already done. What is it? Whatever you want. Okay, super excited to talk about this today. Before we dive in, just a couple of things. My new self-concept course is out. You guys, I'm super excited about this course. This course is going to help you transform and change and reprogram your self-concept, which is super important, okay? And why is it super important? Because I agree, you can manifest without changing your concept of yourself. But can you really enjoy your manifestation? Can you keep your manifestation? Can you really it's about enjoying it. It's about your level of ability to enjoy your manifestation. Because if you still feel like you're not enough, if you still feel insecure, if you still feel whatever it is in your self-concept that you believe about yourself, you're not going to be able to enjoy your manifestation. And you want to be able to not only enjoy it, but enjoy it and keep it. Okay. So super excited about the course, already getting tons of awesome feedback. I also created a bundle, you guys, for the course and the affirmations track. So it's basically all the work is done for you in terms of what to affirm, right? So if you don't want to come up with your own affirmations, I created a huge affirmations track to help you create and generate your highest and best self-concept. So I created a bundle with those as well. And let's see what else. I do have a few new affirmations tracks that'll be coming out soon. Currently, I have an affirmations track about Neville's technique, Isn't It Wonderful? How you can manifest many different things all at once. And I have, of course, my Conscious Creator course and some other things. So there's going to be a link down below in the description box, and you can click on that link and go and check out all the offerings. And I'm also available for one-on-one coaching if you would like some support and some guidance on your journey. And, just anything if you want to learn from someone who's been through the process of manifesting an SP, manifesting many different things, job, money, relationships, physical appearance changes, whatever it is. I'd be more than happy to help you with that in one-on-one coaching. All right, you guys, so let's dive into this, this video. And for this video, I'm going to give you guys, I think I have 4 Neville quotes. So maybe more, but at least 4 Neville quotes that I want to share with you. Why am I sharing Neville quotes? Let's talk about that for a second. I am going to share the Neville quotes because Neville, you guys, it's not, I still read Neville today, and it's not that I'm trying to go and learn something new, right? Because I've read everything that Neville put out already. So, but I do still go and read Neville because it inspires me. It inspires me and it reminds me, I get like hyped up, I get pumped up, and I truly can remember my power. If I am having a moment where I forget, if I'm having a moment of doubt, if I'm having a moment of lack, which I still have, by the way, from time to time, because I'm human. And anytime I'm pushing into a new area to level up myself or my life, my circumstances, I have limiting beliefs there. Yeah. Newsflash, right? So the difference between who I am now and who I was a few years ago is who I am now. I know that those limiting beliefs are a lie. I know that they're just old programming. I know that they're not real and true for me. And I know that I can change them. Okay. So that's the most important thing. That's empowerment. Okay. And so I've said this in previous videos. We're not trying to evolve to the place where we never have a doubt. We never have a circumstance. We never have a limiting belief within us. It's not really realistic, really. I mean, you can eventually get there, but that's not really the goal. You're not trying to be perfect. Manifesting is not about being perfect. It's about recognizing that you have programming, that needs to change. And that's all that it is. It's not real and not true. What's true is infinite potential. What's true is creation is finished. What's true is everything you want, you're meant to have. That's why you're here, right? And the only thing you have to overcome is your own belief system, your own programming that you didn't even choose to take on. You took it on at a young age, and before you even knew about any of this, or before you even knew that you had a choice, that you could discern those beliefs, right? So, not your fault that you took on that limiting beliefs and that limiting programming. That's just what we do as humans. We absorb our environment at a young age. And even if your environment is great, right? You don't have to have a super terrible, traumatic, bad environment to still take on limiting beliefs and unwanted programming. Okay. All right, you guys. So that was a little bit of a tangent, but super important and relevant anyway. But let's get started with some Neville quotes. Okay. So let's see. The first one. You and I are creatures of habit. We get into the habit of accepting as final the evidence of our senses. Wine is needed for guests, and my senses tell me that there is no wine. And I, through habit, am about to accept this lack as final. When I remember that my consciousness is the one and only reality, therefore, if I deny the evidence of my senses and assume the consciousness of having sufficient wine, I have, in a sense, rebuked my mother or the consciousness which suggested lack. And by assuming the consciousness of having what I desire for my guest, wine is produced in a way we do not know. Right? So you guys get this? Do you get how powerful this quote is? You want to develop the habit of not accepting lack. Right now, you may have the habit of looking at your circumstances and whatever they are, whether it's abundance or lack, you accept them. You might have that habit. We all had that habit before we knew about law of assumption and everyone as you pushed out, and that we can be conscious creators. So no problem. Again, not your fault. But if you recognize that that's a habit and that kind of doesn't really jive with your infinite potential, right? Just accepting what is being observed by you, what is being taken in by your five senses, then you can start to develop a different habit. You can. You guys, that's the thing. I'm not saying that this is easy, because what is a habit? A habit is something that we've practiced so long that it just becomes like second nature. So this habit of looking at your circumstances and accepting whatever is there, whether it's lack or abundance, as real and true, is a habit. It's second nature. You're going to default to doing that until you change the habit. And changing habits takes time. It takes repetition. It takes diligence and commitment, right? So what do we always talk about? You have to persist. And you have to persist not only in your desires, you have to persist when you're trying to change and upgrade your belief system, right? When you learn about everyone as you pushed out, and you learn that creation is finished, everything you want already exists. If you don't see it right now, deny the senses, deny the lack. Do not accept the lack that you're sensing with your five senses. Don't accept that. And instead, know that you already have the thing that you want. It's already done. How do I know that it's already done? Because creation is finished, right? So you have to also persist when you're trying to upgrade and change your belief system. If you forget, you're going to go back to the old belief system automatically, right? You're going to go on autopilot. So this is about catching yourself when that old belief system is presenting itself and saying, no, creation is finished. I know that whatever I desire is already here. Varying degrees of visibility and invisibility, right? But you can acknowledge, I know it's already done. My job is to accept that, to acknowledge that. Okay, I can't sense it, but I know if I deny the evidence of lack and I accept that my desire is already mine, I don't have to do anything, then in a way I don't know, it will show up in my reality. That's the thing, you guys, you don't have to do anything. So a lot of my clients this week have been talking to me in our one-on-one sessions, and they're really caught up in the how. I don't understand how this is going to happen. I can't even think of how this is going to happen. Well, I have the best news for you ever, that the how is not your job. I'm glad you don't know how. It's not your job to know how. Knowing how is limiting. When you shrug your shoulders and say, I don't know how, you are allowing infinite possibilities of ways that the how can come about and show up for you. In Neville's quote, the one that I just read, he ran out of wine for his guest. He knows that he wants to have wine for his guest. Did he try to come up with ways and means for how he's going to get that wine? Or did he doubt himself because he couldn't think of any way to get the wine? No. When we try to think of the how, and again, this is a habit that you have to break. When we think about the how, we display lack of faith to our higher self, to God, the universe, whatever label you want to put on it, the forces you're co-creating with. You are displaying lack of faith. You're saying, here's what I want. I don't know how. And I don't really know that you got it. Higher self, universe, God, all that is. So my human self, I'm going to start to think of ways of how this could come about. Can you see how limiting and not trusting and not powerful that is? And again, I know it's a habit. I know it's a habit. So you have to break the habit of trying to think about how. Literally get into the habit. My way of doing it, the way that I love to do it, I just go, I don't know. And then I feel excited that, oh yeah, I don't have to know. What a relief. What a relief. And I remind myself, I go back to knowing that my job is to accept. And every time my mind, my ego wants to bring me back to, no, but look what's in your 3D reality, in your circumstances. My job is to deny the evidence of my senses, deny the evidence of lack, and go back to accepting that I have it in my imagination, knowing that creation is finished. And this is what you guys want to start doing as well. Don't try to go into the how. Shrug your shoulders. Come up with a thing that works for you. For me, that works. There was a time also that I would just say silly things like, I don't need to know how. My butler in the sky has got it, right? So whatever works for you. For me, that is light and fun. And it's just a quick reminder that it's not my job. And someone else or something else, a higher power, something greater than me with infinite more awareness, intelligence, power, it's all got it figured out. I don't have to come in with my limited human self and try to figure out how. I just don't have to. So I shrug my shoulders and I say, I don't know how. Whew, so glad I don't have to. All right, you guys, let's go on to the next quote. Let's see. If you only look at and accept what you can see and experience with your 5 senses, you are rendering yourself blind to what could be. Never accept the appearance of lack. Never accept the appearance of lack. All that is, when we see and sense lack, all that is the evidence, the manifestation, the result of your previous thoughts, your previous assumptions. That's all it is. So you don't need to accept that as final, that is fact, that is true. You don't have to. Again, this is about breaking a habit. We have to break the habit of accepting only what we see, only what we sense with our 5 senses. And you guys, this is what persisting is. If you are noticing lack in your circumstances, that's not the end. Your end is your manifestation. So you keep persisting in your assumption. How long do you persist in your assumption? Until it shows up. Only when it shows up, then you can stop persisting. If you stop persisting before, you didn't really persist, right? This is a skill, you guys. This is a skill that you're developing. It's not going to come easy and natural and automatic. No, what's automatic is the old way. The old way before you knew that you were creating everything. The old way of looking at circumstances and saying, okay, I can see all this stuff here. So now I think, feel, and believe about that. That's the old way. And it's on autopilot. So you will go back to that again and again and again and again, and you're trying to break that habit. And in the beginning, you have to use effort to break that habit. You have to catch yourself when you go back to that old habit. And you have to use some effort to bring yourself back over here. Oh yeah, okay. I know that that's what's in my circumstances, but I don't care because I know creation is finished. So I'm going to not accept the evidence of lack, and I'm going to accept the fulfillment of my desire. Where is the fulfillment of my desire? Well, right now it's in my imagination. But I know consciousness is the real reality. So I have no problem accepting that that is real right now. Okay. You got to get it the right way around, you guys. Out there isn't the real reality. It's in here. It's in your consciousness. That's the real reality. All right. Let's go on to the next quote. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. To break this hypnotic spell of the senses, you are told, go within and shut the door. He's saying, close yourself off to the five senses. The door of the senses must be tightly shut before your new claim can be honored. Closing the door of the senses is not as difficult as it appears to be at first. It is done with effort. Okay, so exactly what I was just talking about. This denying the senses, completely closing the door on your senses and going into your consciousness. Again, it's going to take a little bit of conscious effort. You can make it effortless, but that will come with time. That will come with practice. That will come when you create the habit of doing that. So right now, it's about breaking the old habit, right? Stopping yourself, recognizing what you're doing, reminding yourself of these key factors. Creation is finished. Consciousness is the real reality. And then moving yourself and your imagination back to your wish fulfilled, back to your end state. All right. So in the beginning, it's a little bit of effort. No problem. How do you get good at anything? How do you create a habit with anything? It's with effort in the beginning. But and this is no different, you guys. I know, trust me, I spent a lot of time struggling, a lot of time, more than I care to admit. But, it's only because I was breaking old habits. I was unlearning everything that I had learned for the first, more than half of my life. I was breaking those habits. I was learning how to be a different person and to operate differently in the world, inside of me and outside of me. So it takes time, and it takes as long as it takes. Let's just say that too, because your transformation, your breaking the habit of being the old version of you doesn't have to take as long as it took me. That's my goal, is to help you guys not have to take as long, right? You can learn from my mistakes, learn from my experience, and become a conscious creator overnight. Why not? The version of you that is a conscious creator, that knows how to do this, that already has a habit of doing this, exists right now. So why not? Oh gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Don't sneeze on the video. Don't sneeze on camera. Okay, the next quote. The habit of seeing only that which our senses permit renders us totally blind to what otherwise we could see. So I realize this is the same thing that I've just been saying. These are all quotes by Neville, so I'm just trying to reinforce this, you guys. I want to reinforce it and repeat it over and over and over and over and over. You can play this video again as many times as you want to. Anytime you're getting sucked back into your circumstances, anytime you're believing in the lack, I want you to play this video, and I want you to remind yourself circumstances don't matter. I am not going to accept the evidence of lack. I think that would solve all the problems, you guys, because that's what trips us up. We want something, right? We have a desire, whatever it is, and we know these techniques. So we do a technique, we do maybe a SATs or scripting or affirmations, whatever it is, to bring us into the state of the wish fulfilled. We may even start to really feel like we have it, okay? Hopefully. And then we move through the day. And then what happens? Because of habit, we get sucked back in to thinking and believing about the evidence of lack, our circumstances, right? And it's like, if you're not practiced at stopping yourself, recognizing what's happening. Oh, it's okay. I'm just getting pulled back into an old habit that's happening automatically. I didn't do that. It's just happening automatically. And stop yourself and literally move yourself with confidence back to the state of the wish fulfilled, knowing why you're doing that, knowing that creation is finished, knowing that your consciousness is the real reality, knowing that if you do that, you're not delusional, you're not faking, you're not kidding yourself, you're not just appeasing yourself to get through something. No, you are creating your reality. You're creating consciously that which you desire to experience. Okay, you got to remind yourself of this. You're not fooling yourself, right? So if you, again, practice this, even when you slip back into accepting the evidence of lack for a moment, you catch yourself, you move yourself back to the fulfillment. You will create a habit. You'll create a habit of only accepting your desire the moment you have a desire. Neville talks about this too. The moment you have a desire, you start to acknowledge that you have it. So you spend no time in lack. Doesn't matter what your circumstances are saying. Doesn't matter if there's evidence of lack. You will start to create the habit. The moment you have a desire, you start to feel like, oh, I have a desire. Boom. At the same time, I also accept that it's done. I accept that it's mine. Take some practice, okay? Don't feel bad if you're not there. That's what we're moving towards. That's what you're retraining yourself to do, the new habit to create. The moment you have a desire, that in that same moment, you accept and acknowledge the fulfillment. All right, you guys, I think there is one more quote. Yes. Okay. Perfect timing. I love this. This is flowing effortlessly. To cultivate the faculty of seeing the invisible, we should often deliberately disentangle our minds from the evidence of the senses and focus our attention on an invisible state, mentally feeling it and sensing it until it has all the distinctness of reality, which is what I was just talking about, right? It's about creating a habit. He calls it cultivating the faculty. What did he call it? Yes, cultivating the faculty of seeing the invisible, right? So again, it's a skill, it's a habit, it's something that you're practicing, you're building up, and you're not going to be good at it right away. That's okay. That's okay. Give yourself some grace, you guys. Give yourself some grace. Think about all the time that you spent in your life that you were just noticing the evidence of your senses and then accepting that as real and true. Okay. And this is really the number one reason that I struggled and that I see my clients struggling as well. What is the number one reason? It's keeping around the old belief system that you had before you knew about law of assumption and everyone as you pushed out, the old belief system that says, I'm a limited human. I get what I get. Life is happening around me. Other people have free will and things just happen all around me. Things are happening all around me, out of my control. That's the old belief system. So the new belief system is, no, everyone is you pushed out. Everything is perfectly catered to you. Everything is reflecting you. Everything that you see around you is perfectly and precisely catered to you. Nothing is just happening. Nothing is just happening, right? That's the belief system. The biggest tripping point is keeping both of those belief systems around, not fully accepting the new belief system, not fully allowing yourself to only rely on this belief system. That old belief system, if you keep it around, even pieces of it, teeny tiny pieces of it, it's going to trip you up. Because this belief system that says things just happen, and this belief system, they contradict. They are in direct conflict, direct contradiction to each other. Like Neville says, there are no secondary causes. If you can have one secondary cause, then you can have two. If you can have two, you can have four. If you can have four, you can have eight. You see where I'm going with this. So there are no secondary causes. There is nothing just happening in your reality. It is all perfectly, precisely catered to you. So You have to throw out the old belief system. You have to completely disentangle your mind from this old belief system. How do you do it? You do it moment to moment to moment to moment, right? Because if I just say right now, I only believe in everyone as you pushed out, I only believe everything is catered to me, I only believe I'm the one creating, there are no secondary causes. Okay, well and good. An hour later, as I'm in my day interacting with people, circumstances pop up, something happens. If I'm not conscious about, still being in that belief system, automatically I'll go back to this one because this is the habit. This is the default. This has been around for a long time. So you have to catch yourself, and moment to moment to moment, you have to recognize, oh, wait a second. I was just giving my power away. I was just saying something was happening to me. I was just saying someone else did something to me. No, I don't believe that's true. I know everything is precisely catered to me. This is my reality. I'm the only one. There are no secondary causes. Everything is precisely catered to me. All right, you guys. That's going to be it for this video today. Check out my new course, all about mastering your self-concept. I know so many of you guys were interested in that, and it is a really powerful course. It is going to transform your self-concept, which is huge. We want to be able to enjoy and sustain and maintain and keep our manifestations, right? If you want any help with your journey and some support learning all of these things, then I am also available for one-on-one coaching. If you like this video, leave me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it as well. And also, if you have any videos that you would like me to record, leave them in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.